Sin also appears to be right when it is wrong. We read that in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. It reads, "There is a way that seems right to man, but its end is the way to death." Sin appears to bring life, when indeed it brings death. The world says, live a little. James chapter 1, verses 13 and 14, we read, "When tempted, no one should say, 'God has tempted me,' for God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt you. But each one is tempted when by his own evil desires he is dragged away and enticed. Then after the desire has conceived, he gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death." Sin appears to be so insignificant. When, brothers and sisters, let me tell you, it's so major. Sin is major. There's no little sin. All sin is big. And God don't like any sin. He doesn't like any sin. How many times have you heard the saying, "Well, it's just a little white lie"? A white lie. No such thing. Or, you know, I won't be lying because I just won't tell all the truth. I'll just stop right here and nobody will know the rest of the story. Or how many times have we heard, "Well, you know what? I've been to church every Sunday this year and this is going on. It's just one Sunday. It'll be okay. One Sunday. I can miss one Sunday. It'll be okay." Or it's just take one little drink. One little drink. One little drink leads to another little drink, leads to another little drink. Or, have you heard this one? "You know what? I'll just do it this one time. And then I won't do it. I just want to try it. Just this one time. I can do it one time." You know, if we look back into the Bible, we read in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 6 that Eve took one little bite. Reviewing back in Genesis in chapter 19 and verse 26, Sodom and Gomorrah. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, told Lot and his family to get out. Don't look back. Lot's wife took one little look. Look what happened to her. The Ark of the Covenant, we read in 2 Samuel chapter 6, verses 1 through 11. Uzzah thought he was doing the right thing. The ark was starting to fall. God told nobody to touch it. Uzzah reached up there to steady it. One little touch. And look what happened to him. Ananias and Sapphira. You know, we read in Acts chapter 5 and verse 11. Told one little lie. And I go back to not telling all the truth. You know, they told them that they made money, but they wanted to keep some for themselves. And again, sin, though it seems small, at all times will have a terrible result. Again, all sin is significant. This morning, sin is not only decisive, it is not only deceptive, but sin is also destructive. Sin will destroy your good name. I don't know about you folks, but as far as myself, when people talk about me, I hope that they don't have anything but good to say about me. You know, there's plenty of people that we know that's been here in the past. And a lot of them, all they have is their good name. You know, I can look around this audience and I see good sisters that used to sit over here someplace that's gone on before us. Some brothers that used to sit over there. Some of the elders that have went on before us. Some brothers that used to sit back there. Vacant seats now. But brothers and sisters, you know what? We're blessed and we can be comforted because we know where each and every one of them are today. A lot of good people have left this congregation here through death. And good names. And we know where they are. We read in Proverbs verse 21 and 1, "A good name is rather be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold." A good name is better than precious oil. We read that in Ecclesiastes 7:1. Let me ask you a question this morning. What do you think of when you think of names like Cain? When you think of names like Ahab, Jezebel, Judas, Benedict Arnold, or most recently, how about Osama bin Laden? You know, names that we tremble when we hear these names because of some of the things that they've done. Sin will destroy your body. Immorality, in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 18 through 21, we read, "Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body, but the sexual immoral person sins against his own body." Did you catch that? The sexual immoral person sins against his own body. Verses 19, "Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price, so glorify your body." Folks, we were bought with a price that we couldn't afford, a price that, do we deserve it? We deserve to go to heaven if we do the things that He wants to do. We can never put ourselves in that position. We read in Proverbs 20, chapter 20, verse 1, "Wine is a mocker, strong drink is a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise." So we read that alcohol is a sin. You know, 1 Peter 2, chapters 21, 22. You know, we think about smoking, and does smoking really harm our bodies? We know that it does. Smoking harms our bodies. Our bodies are a temple of His. Sin will destroy you emotionally through such things as inner conflicts, Romans chapter 7, verses 14 through 25. Guilt, Psalms chapter 23, verses 1 through 4, resulting from these sins, tend to destroy the sinner. Accordingly, in our sin-saturated society, the field of psychiatry is flourishing like never before. Sin will destroy a local church. Folks, have we seen that recently? Before? Will we see it again? Sin will destroy a local church. It was destroying the church in Corinth. We read that. It ruined the church in Laodicea. We read that in Revelations 3:14 through 22. We read that pride in 3 John verse 9 and 10 talks about pride, worldliness in 1 Corinthians 5, lukewarmness, Revelations 3 verses 14 through 22, and division, 1 Corinthians 1:10. All are some sins which will destroy a local church. Folks, we need to keep them things out of our congregation here, because we're not beyond destroying. We need strong moral people to help lead us and keep the sin out here.